let me tell you something that might sting. Not every woman is built for loyalty. I know, it's easy to get swept away when she looks you in the eye and tells you she's different. She says she values honesty, respect, and staying true. And you want to believe her. You want to believe you finally found the one who won't break your heart. But here's the truth most men learn the hard way. If she has to keep telling you she's loyal, chances are she isn't. Real loyalty doesn't come with a sales pitch. It shows up in actions, in consistency, in the way she carries herself when no one is watching. Words are cheap. Behavior tells the real story. So today we're going to walk through 10 signs that the woman you're with or the one you're thinking about chasing will never be loyal. And if you spot these signs, you have two choices. Face the truth and walk away, or ignore the warnings and get crushed later. Let's get into it. Sign 1. She thrives on male attention. Here's the deal. A woman who constantly seeks validation from men will never give all of herself to one man. You'll see it in her clothing choices, in the way she poses for social media, in the way she lights up when strangers compliment her. She doesn't just want your attention, she craves every man's attention. Think about it. Why does she need to post half-naked pictures online if she's already in a relationship? Why does she flirt with the bartender while you're sitting right there? Why does she claim it's just harmless fun? Because it's not about fun. It's about feeding her ego, and an ego that hungry never gets full. A woman addicted to male attention is like someone addicted to sugar. She might get a sweet hit from you, but soon enough she'll be reaching for another source, and when one man isn't enough, she'll find 2, 3, or 10. If her self-worth comes from the number of compliments, likes, and DMs she gets, you're not her partner, you're just one of her suppliers. Sign 2. Her past is full of wild stories. Listen carefully here, because this one gets ignored the most. When a woman proudly brags about how crazy, wild, or reckless she used to be, you're not hearing about her past life, you're hearing about her nature. She'll laugh about how she used to party all night. She'll tell you about the wild spring break trips, the one-night stands, the chaotic exes. She'll package it all as youthful mistakes or that was just college. But here's the truth. Patterns don't just disappear. They get buried until the right situation digs them up. A so-called reformed party girl doesn't magically wake up one day ready to be a devoted, peaceful partner. Her brain is wired for excitement, novelty, and chaos. And when life with you gets too quiet, too predictable, she'll start chasing that old rush again. It could be just a girl's night. It could be just to catch up with an old friend. But behind those harmless excuses is the same wild streak waiting to come out. Don't fool yourself into thinking you're special enough to rewrite her nature. If she was reckless before you, she'll be reckless after you. Sign 3. She's surrounded by male friends. Let me break this one down for you, because it's one of the clearest red flags men ignore. If a woman has more guy friends than girlfriends, you're not looking at friendships, you're looking at backup plans. Think about it. Most men don't hang around beautiful women just to talk about books or swap recipes. They're hanging around waiting for an opportunity. They're waiting for the day you slip up, or she gets bored, or they finally get their shot. And here's the kicker. She knows it. She enjoys it. Every time her phone lights up with just a friend checking in, she gets a hit of validation. Every late night text, every "you deserve better" message is another little ego boost. Now don't get me wrong, having a few male co-workers or casual acquaintances is one thing, but if she's constantly texting guys, going to dinners with them, or treating them like her emotional support system, what does that tell you? It tells you she's leaving the door cracked open for other men. A loyal woman respects boundaries. She knows that if she's in a relationship, her male friendships need to shift or fade out completely. A woman who clings to her just friends guy circle isn't protecting friendship, she's protecting options. And brother, if you're dating a woman who keeps options open, you're not her only man, you're just her current one. Sign 4. She plays the perpetual victim. This one is sneaky because it sounds sympathetic at first. You meet her, and she tells you about all her exes. Every single one of them was toxic. Every guy she dated was abusive, controlling, a narcissist. She'll swear she's always been the one who gave too much and got nothing in return. Sounds tragic, right? Makes you want to be the hero who saves her. Don't fall for it. If every ex was the villain, guess who's the common denominator? That's right, her. Here's the truth. Women who never take responsibility for their past will never take responsibility for their future. That means when she cheats, when she lies, when she disrespects you, it'll always be your fault. You didn't love her enough. You didn't give her enough attention. You weren't understanding enough. I watched this happen to a close friend. His girlfriend swore all her exes were monsters. He thought he was different. He thought he'd finally show her what real love looks like. 2 years later, she was sneaking around with his best friend and still somehow blamed him for pushing her away. That's the victim playbook. Paint yourself as innocent. Blame everyone else. Rewrite the story to justify bad behavior. A woman stuck in victim mode is dangerous because she'll make you the next villain in her story. And when she does, she won't think twice about betraying you. Sign 5. She creates drama out of nothing. A loyal woman values peace. She wants her relationship to feel safe and steady. But a woman who can't handle peace, she'll create chaos just to feel alive. You'll notice it in little ways. Everything feels good between you two, and suddenly she picks a fight over something small. A text you forgot to answer fast enough. A look she thought you gave another woman. Some random misunderstanding she blows out of proportion. She doesn't actually want resolution. She wants intensity. She thrives on the emotional roller coaster. The yelling, the crying, the storm, and then the passionate makeup after. Here's why this matters. If she's addicted to drama, eventually normal life will feel too boring for her. And when the relationship becomes too calm, she'll go looking for a new spark. Sometimes that spark comes in the form of another man. Sneaking around gives her adrenaline. The risk of getting caught makes her heart race. It feels like the chaos she craves. I've seen this too many times. Guys trying to be the perfect partner, only to find out she cheated just to feel something. That's not on him. That's her wiring. Ask yourself this. Can she enjoy a quiet Sunday with no drama? Can she go a week without stirring up problems? Can she handle calm without creating chaos? If the answer is no, don't expect her loyalty to last. For women addicted to drama, cheating isn't about love, it's about stimulation. Sign 6. She doesn't respect boundaries. This is one of the clearest previews of how she'll treat loyalty. If she can't respect small boundaries, she'll never respect the big ones. Here's what that looks like. She goes through your phone but flips out if you touch hers. She flirts with other men but gets jealous if you so much as talk to another woman. She makes rules for you but none apply to her. These aren't quirks, they're character flaws. Boundaries are like practice runs for commitment. If she can't honor "don't flirt with my friends," why would she honor "don't sleep with other men"? It's the same muscle, just heavier weight. Watch carefully how she reacts when you set a limit. Does she respect it? Or does she push against it? Does she guilt trip you, twist it around, ignore it? The answer will tell you everything you need to know. A woman who respects you will treat your boundaries with care, even when she doesn't agree with them. A woman who doesn't respect you will test every limit until she finds out how much she can get away with. And when loyalty itself becomes the boundary, well, you already know how that story ends. Sign 7. She moves way too fast. Some men mistake this for romance, but it's actually instability dressed up as passion. You meet her, and within weeks she's saying "I love you." She wants to move in. She talks like you've been together for years when you've barely scratched the surface of knowing each other. It feels flattering. You think, wow, I must be special. No one's ever loved her like this before. Let me pop that bubble. Fast attachment usually means fast detachment. She's not falling in love with you. She's falling in love with the idea of being in love. You're not her soulmate. You're just her next host. This is why women who leapfrog from relationship to relationship never seem to be single. There's always overlap. They don't leave one man until another is lined up. They're not choosing carefully. They're grabbing onto whatever's available. And here's the kicker. If she attached to you this fast, she'll detach just as quickly when someone new comes along. Loyal women build slowly. They let trust and intimacy develop naturally. They don't rush the process because they understand the value of commitment. So if she's moving at lightning speed, it's not because you're extraordinary. It's because she can't stand being alone. And men who mistake desperation for devotion usually pay the price. Sign 8. She's always comparing you to other men. This one is subtle, but it's deadly to any relationship. Maybe she says things like, "My ex used to take me to nicer restaurants. Why can't you be more like Sarah's boyfriend?" Or the classic, "That actor is so much hotter than you." At first it sounds like harmless commentary, but what she's really doing is shopping. She's comparing products, and right now you're just the one in her cart. Here's the brutal truth. When a woman is always measuring you against other men, you're never truly winning. You're in a competition you didn't sign up for, and the scoreboard is constantly changing. A loyal woman doesn't treat her partner like an item on a shelf. She doesn't see him as the best option for now. She sees him as hers, full stop. But the comparison queen, she'll never stop browsing. And when she finally finds someone taller, richer, or more exciting, she won't hesitate to trade up. I once heard a guy say, "My girlfriend always points out how hot other men are." but she comes home to me at the end of the day. For now, buddy, for now. Because when someone keeps shopping, eventually they buy. Sign 9, she lives a secret double life. Every man should pay attention to this one, because it's the most dangerous and the hardest to catch. Some women don't cheat out in the open. They don't flirt in front of you. They don't post thirst traps on Instagram. They don't leave obvious clues. Instead, they compartmentalize. They separate their lives into boxes you're never allowed to open. Maybe her phone is always on silent, face down on the table. Maybe she has apps you wouldn't understand, or friends you've never met. Maybe she insists on privacy so aggressively that it feels more like secrecy. Listen carefully. Privacy is normal. Secrecy is not. A loyal woman has nothing to hide. If you picked up her phone to call an Uber, she wouldn't flinch. Her social media includes you. Her friends know about you. Her life is integrated with yours. But the woman living a double life? She guards her phone like it's a nuclear launch code. She compartmentalizes her time, her social circles, and her activities, so you'll never see the full picture. I once worked with a guy who thought his girlfriend was just really private. She had a work phone he wasn't allowed to touch. Turned out that work phone was her dating app phone. She had an entire second life running right under his nose. That wasn't just betrayal, that was deception on a whole other level. So if you feel like you only know part of your girlfriend's world, pay attention, because if she's capable of living 2 lives, one of them probably doesn't include you. Sign 10. Her past is a preview of your future. Here's the final and most important truth. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. If she's cheated before, she'll cheat again. If she's been the other woman before, she'll do it again. If she's destroyed other men's relationships, don't think yours will be the exception. Now I know what some of you are thinking, but people change. She's different now. She told me she's grown. Let me be clear. People don't change. They adapt. They get better at hiding who they are. They find new ways to package the same patterns. But the core doesn't shift. A woman who cheated at 20 is still capable of cheating at 30. The only difference is she's sharper, more careful, and more skilled at covering her tracks. When she tells you about her past, don't get blinded by her excuses. It was complicated. He wasn't good to me. I was young and dumb. No, brother. She showed you what she's capable of. She revealed her blueprint. And if you ignore it, you're not just walking into betrayal, you're volunteering for it. Trying to build a loyal relationship with a disloyal woman is like trying to build a house on quicksand. Doesn't matter how good your materials are. Doesn't matter how much effort you put in. The foundation is rotten, and sooner or later, it all collapses. Closing, the hard truth. So now you've heard the signs. 10 red flags that scream a woman will never be loyal. And if you're honest with yourself, you probably recognized at least 1 or 2 of them. Maybe you even recognized most of them. Here's the part that stings. Deep down, you already knew. Your gut has been whispering it for a while. You felt the red flags, but you painted them green because you didn't want to be alone. You didn't want to start over. You didn't want to face the truth. But let me tell you something, brother. Ignoring reality doesn't change it. It just delays the pain. You can't love someone into loyalty. You can't fix a woman who doesn't respect boundaries. You can't save someone who's addicted to chaos, drama, or attention. If she lacks loyalty in her DNA, no amount of your love, time, or sacrifice will rewrite her code. Why men stay anyway? Most men who get betrayed saw the signs early on. They felt the warnings. They even heard advice from friends. But they stayed. Why? Because pain feels like passion. Because chaos feels like excitement. Because being with her feels like living in a movie. And calm, stable women feel boring by comparison. But here's the thing. Loyalty doesn't sparkle like fireworks. Loyalty feels steady, quiet, reliable, and that's exactly why it's so rare and so valuable. Stop mistaking emotional roller coasters for love. Stop thinking that drama equals depth. What you need to do, from this day forward, you have a choice. You can keep chasing the women who wave every red flag I've just described, and then act surprised when they betray you, or you can raise your standards. You can stop trying to rehab the unreformable. You can stop thinking your love is strong enough to rewrite human nature. Instead, look for the woman who is loyal by default. She doesn't need to announce it, she just lives it. She doesn't need constant male attention, she values yours. She doesn't run from peace, she builds it with you. She doesn't have a highlight reel of wild stories, she has consistency. And yes, she might not feel like a movie at first. She might not give you the highs and lows of a toxic roller coaster, but that's exactly the point. She's not chaos, she's not destruction, she's stability. And stability is the only ground real love can stand on. The final word, here's the bottom line. If you choose a woman with these 10 signs, you're not a victim of betrayal. You're a volunteer. You saw the smoke, you ignored the fire, and when it all burns down, you can't pretend you weren't warned. So stop pretending, stop lying to yourself, stop hoping loyalty will magically appear where it doesn't exist. You have power, you have choice. You can cut your losses and walk away now, or you can keep digging yourself deeper until the betrayal finally explodes in your face. The question isn't whether she's loyal. The question is whether you're brave enough to walk away when you know she isn't. Because the truth is this, your future self is watching, and he's begging you, don't ignore the signs, choose better, or accept the pain you signed up for. Either way, the choice is yours.